it's still doing it. It's not doing it anymore. It was this one lamp in my room, and it's like my favorite lamp, and it was making that weird thing, but only on the camera. Stupid. It's so stupid. I'm turning into Bella Swan, where she has like 50 different light sources in her room, and they're all on at the same time. She goes to sleep and they're all still on. I just wanted to talk about some things today, and I'm gonna try not to edit this video because I'd like to talk without kind of taking out all the little because that's really annoying, and I also don't like editing. I'm not a YouTuber. Like, I like to write stuff. I didn't sign up to be an editor, did I? Do I look like an editor? Don't answer that. Some people would say yes. It's the pink hair, okay. I like pink. You can't really see much of it in my room. The walls are pink, but they're like a soft shade of pink. So it's different. It's a little bit edgy. I wanted to talk about my journey as a writer. Because I was thinking about it today, of how when I was a kid, every time someone in school said, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I always said an author, always. And then when I turned 22, I managed to make it happen because I started writing Nicki Cottage and the Onkydonks when I was 19, I think. And that took about 2 years. And then getting the cover design took in total like a year to get all the logistics of it. And then I published it and it was great. And I love my book and a lot of other people like my book, which is amazing. Thank you guys. But I thought I would share where I started and where I'm going next and how you can do it too, especially on a lower budget. If you didn't know, I'm self-published, so it's very different to actually getting an agent and going through that whole process. It's not really something that I was that interested in doing, and I wanted to do it for me and see how it went. I'm saying so many ums, I don't want to edit this later. But yeah, I really love writing, and I think the process is so, it's like you get to, there's an advantage of being in your head all the time. So I'm always like away with the fairies. I'm not really focusing on anything. Maybe I have ADHD. Everyone says that. I don't know. It's a way of using that imagination, and some people, they're very creative, they'll do painting and stuff like that. And I do that too, but I don't find that it kind of releases that creative energy. And I think throughout the day we have this energy that builds up and up and up, and for some people they have to release that energy in the forms of exercise or socializing or even just cleaning their house. For me, I think it's sitting down and actually like typing away, even if it's something that doesn't make much sense or it's some kind of poorly written poem. No shade to poets though, they have a great job. Like, oh my god, you get to look at the sky and be like, yes, and the clouds, they fluttered by on a breeze. Like, that's such a great, I don't know how you make money from it though, but I guess if it's like a side thing that you do on the side, then more power to you. That's awesome. I came out of sixth form and I had no idea what I wanted to do, and everybody around me was going off to university, and all of my teachers were like, oh, you have to go to university. I was like, no, I don't want to. It looks horrible. Everyone seems to suffer there, and it's just, I kind of feel like it's where dreams go to die. That might be a bit harsh, but you know what I mean? I feel like if you go to university, you should go because you have a reason to go. So I think doctors and lawyers, they have a big reason to go because you need that for your career. Anything else, I kind of think it's just down to specific companies being picky. Like, oh, we want you to have a bachelor's degree in blah, blah, blah. You will never need that bachelor's degree. And whatever you do need, you could have learnt yourself without paying thousands or even tens of thousands of pounds for a degree, and also letting your mental health suffer because you're sitting in a room by yourself for at least 3 years. And if you don't like socializing, you are screwed. You're just stuck there. Like, I didn't want that. I just knew it wasn't something that I was interested in. And every single teacher said, oh, how many universities have you applied to? And I would say, none, I don't want to go. They would look at me with such disgust. They would be like, oh, well, you have to go. I don't have to go, Susan. I wouldn't have called my teacher Susan, but you know what I mean. And eventually I started lying to them and said, oh, I'm going to go on a gap year. I'm going to go and travel. Again, I had no intention of going. I remember there was a lesson that we had where it was just writing CVs, and the teacher, or no, it was CVs or something to do with university, I don't even know, part of the application process. And she was like, this is how you do it, this is how you write it, blah, 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 blah. And I literally sat there and didn't pay any attention and just wrote a bunch of nonsense on the page. And she walked by and went, oh yes, that's perfect, Mia, well done. Thanks. I'm not going to university. I didn't want to go. And the thing is, no shade if you actually want to go, if you want the experience, if you want to go, if you know, this is my dream. I want to go to Cambridge, or I'm in America and I want to go to Yale. I want to be the Rory Gilmore of the world, then absolutely go for it. But you don't need it. I left sixth form and I still didn't have a clue what I was doing. I did an interior design course, I did a home staging course, I was just kind of figuring out what I wanted to do. And Nicki Cottage was a character I created as a kid. So when I was maybe like 8 years old, maybe, I came up with this character. She looked exactly the same as she looks now, with the long sandy plaits and the green eyes, and she lives with her nana in a cottage on the hill, and it's the whole story in that aspect has been there from the start. And I've just basically expanded on that with the Onkydonks and Wonky Woods and Jasper, her lost cat, all these different things. It's basically grown over time. But she found a note in her phone where I had obviously borrowed her phone and said, can I write this in your phone quickly? And it was an idea about Nicki, and it was something about a cupboard, and she went into the cupboard and she got a broomstick out and she pretended that she was a witch, and then she became a witch, and it was very like fantastical. And she said to me, you should write this as a book. And I said, well, I mean, I could. I don't really know what I'd say about her. I feel like I already wrote those stories as a kid. She went, yeah, but you could do like a picture book or something kind of shorter. Yeah, that's a good idea. Long story short, it ended up being 400 plus pages when my mum simply suggested to do like a little, maybe 20-page book, because the ideas just kept growing. And I actually had the book at like 550 pages to start with, and I had to whittle that down because I thought, the only kid in the world that would read a book that's 500 plus pages would be me. And I'm grown. I'm an adult. I wouldn't read it now. I would read my own book now, because I did. But I don't think kids are going to do that. Kids didn't do that when I was a kid. And I think especially now they're not going to either. So I had to condense that, which I did. And I got it down to 450, I want to say. It might be slightly less, like 430. I can't actually remember. But yeah, I got that down, and I spent 2 years writing the book on and off. I had a big hiatus where I wrote the book, and I must have written about maybe 10 to 15,000 words, and that took me a while to write that. That was about maybe within 6 months, I think. I was just kind of, it was like my brain was warming up to the story, and then all of a sudden everything stopped, and I stopped writing completely. And it didn't even enter my head that I'd stopped or that I needed to continue. It was just like it had been forgotten. The story was like, I have to let this sit here. That's it. I've forgotten about it. And it's just sitting on my computer. That's it. And I went about my business, and I would see my friends, and I'd do my work, and it was all hunky-dory. Hunky-dory. No one uses that word anymore. I actually really like it. But yeah. And one day I felt my OCD kind of creeping up on me a little bit. So kind of scratching away at my brain. And I realized that I wasn't doing so well mentally. And then one day my dad came home, and my mum was there too, and we were kind of sitting together. And my dad said, why don't you carry on with your book? Like, why did you stop? And I said, I don't know why I stopped. I just did. I just felt like I couldn't, there was nothing to continue with. I'd written like I said, like 15,000 words, which is not, I wouldn't say that's enough for a children's book. I think a children's book should be at least 50,000, between 50,000 and 90,000 words, give or take. He suggested it and said, why don't you carry on writing it? I think it would help you mentally. And so at this point, it's been like at least a year that I haven't, since I started the book. And within, I would say, 9 months, maybe 10, in that chunk of time, I then wrote, I want to say, about 80,000 words. I still don't know how I did that. Stephen King would look at me and be like, that's rookie numbers, come on. But I was impressed. I may have written more than that. I think I did. And then that's why I had to condense it down, like ridiculously condense it, because it was just too long. I just basically rambled for a very, very, very long time. And I had to do something about it. So I changed it and I edited it and I shortened it. And lo and behold, it became its own thing. It became a physical book. You're basically learning on the job, essentially, except the job isn't paying you until someone buys the book, which even then, people might not buy the book because you have to then market it. And that's the bit I'm in now, and it sucks. But I'll make another video on marketing. Once that was done, I had to get an illustrator. I had to get the whole cover designed. That took, I would say, close to 6 months-ish. And then I had about a month once it was done to then put all the pieces together. I had the ISBN and everything, which I will also go through in another video because that's its own thing as well. There's just so much to publishing a book. You guys have no idea how much effort I put in, so much time. And sometimes there is a little reward and sometimes there are great rewards. And I think it's all down to how well you write, how good your cover looks. I think the cover is like, everyone says, don't judge a book by its cover. Okay, but people do. Everyone does. I look at a book and go, oh, I want to read that. And I'll pick it up because of the cover. I might not buy it because of the cover, because obviously I then read the blurb. And if I don't like the blurb within the first sentence, I'm out. So I'm quite quick with knowing what I want to read. But you know, I make mistakes. Sometimes I pick up a book and go, that looks amazing. That's a bit of me. I'll read that. And actually, it's the worst thing I've ever read. But hopefully people don't say that about Nicki Cottage. If they do, that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But I would hope that people like it. The kids everywhere love it. The people in my book club seem to like it. And that was just an amazing feeling to know that all my members that read it, they were like, oh, I love it. It's so great. And I'm not saying it because you're the book club host. I'm saying it because it actually is good. And I was like, you guys are so sweet. So yeah, they're awesome. I love my book club members. They don't know how much I love them. Like, I feel like it's weird if I tell them, like, I love you guys. You guys, I love you. I think they'd be like, I'm gonna leave, sorry. I think I'm gonna wrap the video up now. Let me go and get my book, actually. Here's my angel, Nicki Cottage, and the Onkydonks. I've just realised this whole video, I have not been looking at the camera. I've been looking at myself. Yeah, this is what happens when you film on an iPhone. You're like, should be looking at you guys. Sorry. Maybe next time. Though it feels kind of awkward looking at the camera. I don't like it. It's like breaking the fourth wall. Stop. So this is the cover. This Nicki is exactly the same as exactly what I had in my head when I was a kid. This cat is based on my cat who passed away. Rest in peace, Posy. She was amazing. And then you have the Onkydonks. We have Willow, Davy. And then on the back we have Olo, Nephili, Juniper and Hazel. So you can get this on Amazon or Ingram Spark as well. Etsy, I sell a signed copy for UK customers only. So yeah, this is my beautiful book. So yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope that you gained something. If you didn't, you can tell me, I don't mind. I don't think I'm that mentally weak. Maybe I am. Don't say anything mean. Don't be like, I think your book sucks. I don't know why the commenter would be American. There are many different people that can comment. Maybe just a Yorkshireman. I think your book sucks. I've never seen a mean Yorkshireman ever. Everyone up north seems really nice. Anyway, thanks, bye.